Hello and welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Review. I am your good buddy Brandon.
And I'm your good buddy Roger.
And we are here to break down Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Ooh yeah.
You know how I feel about these titles with so many words, man.
Okay.
It's a lot of words, a lot of syllables. I gotta tell you, it hit me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was not expecting, because usually, here's my complaint. Usually, you get a title with that many letters that's making a statement or asking a question or something like that. Why is my sister this cute? Like shit like that. It's all fan service.
It's got, Bunny Girl, Senpai. There are all sorts of words in here that should be raising red flags.
There's so many.
And this show swerves you so hard.
It swerved me hard, and I'm thankful.
But we'll get into that in a second. Let's go over these reviews. How do we do these reviews, dude?
Well, the way we do it is we're gonna end by giving you a rating of a recommendation. It's one of 5 different little keywords.
Let's start it from the bottom up, dude.
So
what can these animes get?
Well, if it was just bad, Roger, what would you call that?
I'd call it an anime, maybe not.
If it was, it's not great, but it's not horrible.
Anime.
What if it was pretty average, it's like right in the middle?
I would say that's an anime, maybe.
But if it was pretty good, it's actually pretty good.
Definitely. That's definitely an anime, most definitely.
But if it was awesome, if it was damn near perfect, Roger,
that's an animazing, man. This anime is animazing.
And that's how we're going to break them down.
Yep.
Now, the way we get to those is we're going to rate these on 2 stars, each of these 5 categories for a possible 10 full stars. We're going to talk about, first of all, the story and setting.
Right.
We are then going to break down, what was it?
Characters and development.
Characters and development. We also have the art and animation.
Yep.
The
soundtrack and the music.
And finally, that Good Buddies wiggle room, that little certain something, that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, we can break it up and down. And je ne sais quoi.
What does that mean, Roger?
I don't know what.
I don't know what. But yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna break them down on those certain categories. We're gonna give you a final rating of what we thought of it, and basically it all comes down to would we or would we not recommend this to someone? Is the basic conceit of it. So let's get right into it, man. Tell me about this show. Give me a little breakdown.
Okay.
What's it about?
So, Bunny Girl or Rascal, or you can say the whole damn title if you want to. I'm just gonna keep calling it Rascal.
Sure.
To keep it short. It involves a couple of characters. There's actually not too many characters, but it's built in arcs.
Sure.
And your main character is Sakata.
Mm-hmm.
And he is in a library one day.
He is the titular Rascal.
Right. He is in a library one day, and there is a girl walking around.
Dressed like a Playboy bunny.
Yep, in her bunny costume.
She's got the bunny suit. She's got the bunny. She's got the little
straight
cuffs.
Up, the Dragon Ball Bulma costume.
It is the Dragon Ball Bulma costume. I think Haruko pulls that out in episode 5 or something of FLCL.
Yeah,
maybe 4.
So he's like, "What the hell is going on?" And she's walking by people, waving in front of them.
Nobody sees anything, except him.
And this leads back to something. It's kind of a. What's the word I'm looking for? An urban legend.
It's a through line through all of these episodes.
It's called adolescence or puberty syndrome.
Yes, and that is what this show is about mostly. It is about this titular Rascal who is knowledgeable at least a little bit of this urban legend, this adolescent syndrome. In the little title card they give you, it says puberty syndrome, which is this thing. I have the little definition written down here: abnormal experiences during adolescence due to sensitivity and instability. So basically, you got all these dang old hormones going crazy, and I've got so many feelings.
Yep.
And they manifest themselves in these crazy ways.
And he is kind of more in tune with it, because before the show even starts, before we get him seeing the bunny girl in the library, he has experienced this already, and nobody believes him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that'll come into play later with him and his sister, Kaidi.
Yeah. So, without getting too spoilery, a couple examples.
Yeah, I'm trying to really dance on this one because there is almost no wasted motion in this show, and I don't want to spoil anything too heavy.
Yeah,
there might be some light ones in here, but nothing that's going to ruin anything for anybody.
The only ones I would give are that, as 2 examples of the adolescent syndrome. We do see, I think in episode 1, when he's talking about how no one believed him before, his sister, you saw her she comes to him. She's apparently being bullied online or something, and there's all this stuff going on, and she doesn't know how to deal with it. And as she's standing in front of him, you see these little cuts appear on her and bruises just appear on her, like as if she's been physically hit and cut, even though she hasn't. That's what we're talking about here. So it usually has something to do with whatever the person's going through. With the titular bunny girl who was walking around, who we find out is Mai Sakurajima. Her whole thing is that she is, for whatever reason, just invisible.
Yeah.
She is not only invisible, you can't hear her. If she's holding something, it disappears, etc., etc.
And I will give you this: it is crazy because she's invisible, because she is a celebrity. She's
like a big child
she's
star.
An idol.
Yeah,
she's an idol. And it actually touches a little more on her being an idol later into the series. Some of the stuff we talked about in the last review of Zombieland Saga, talking about the idols.
We don't want to go too much further on this stuff because we'll get spoilery. But I mean, that's basically the story and setting. This takes place in the city. I do want
to say one more thing about you said city, and that's what I was going to touch on. It's set in Fujisawa in the Kanagawa prefecture.
Yes, which is not a small town. It's a pretty big city.
But the way they do this, I was looking online at some drawings of the actual city.
Is it like shot for shot?
It's almost shot for shot.
That's really
good. At least
good.
Certain places they nailed it, dude. They freaking stuck it. It is really incredible, and that really added the extra layer because I already liked the animation and stuff about it.
Sure.
So yeah, it's set in all in that town, and parents are gone. It's just him and his sister. And then he starts running into more people that are experiencing the adolescent syndrome, or puberty syndrome. He kind
of like whether because out of the goodness of his heart or because of something else, he for whatever reason ends up helping these people.
Right.
We can say that much. But yeah, that to me, that's the most intriguing thing about that.
Yeah.
This kind of sci-fi, this weird paranormal
it's
thing
like
that's
supernatural. It's like psychological.
Yes, very much so.
It is not very bunny girl or senpai.
Yeah, and like they kind of really swear, because I feel like some people might have clicked on this thing and hell yeah, I'm gonna see some bunny titties, but in fact, there's like that one scene maybe, and then I think you get a little bit later, but not what you're thinking.
Yep, not at all.
Yeah. But I mean, it takes place in this town. It takes place a lot at the school, and other places around the school, and that's basically the story and setting of it. We're talking about this really weird going-ons that are based on whatever, instability or sensitivity these people are going through.
You're right.
That's pretty cool.
Right. Yep. It's a really interesting concept.
Roger, tell me about these characters.
There's all the characters that they really work with. I like this show because there are enough characters, but they don't go way out of their way for a bunch of characters or anything.
Sure.
And every character you get is pretty well developed. Even the very minor ones, you still get enough of them that you get a good feel of who these characters are.
Like Sakura, his buddy, I forget his name. It's like Nami, something like that. He's got a friend.
Manimi, I think.
Yeah, something like that. He's got a friend who isn't there often, but when he is, I mean,
it's his
you get
bud.
a good feel for how this guy is.
And you get a close feeling of his two friends. He makes a point at the very beginning to say that he has two whole friends.
Yeah.
And later on, his friend count grows, and granted, not by much, but he's still proud of each friend that he gets.
Sure.
Sakuya, what's his name?
Sakuta. With a T, yeah.
Sakuta.
I think.
There's a lot of confusing names in this one.
Yeah.
Except for Mai. I remember Mai because I love King of Fighters.
Wow, this guy. Roger, I gotta say this, though. I think I hate the main character.
Okay, so the very start, I have finished this. I'll go ahead and say that I finished the whole anime.
I'm 6 episodes in, so let's get that.
He starts off a little flat.
I kind of hate him.
And he's kind of a douche.
He's kind of a huge douche. He's insufferable.
By the end of it, they totally turned him around.
They really turned him around, huh?
Dude, the last episode of this series with him, it really hits in his heart.
I'll say that, like,
it's a fucking gut punch, dude.
I will say that, like, as I said earlier, like, each 3 episodes so far, for the first 6 anyway, are kind of like their own little movie. You could have taken those first 3 and those second 3 and made 2 movies, and they would be great. At the end of that first one, I get this guy a little bit. The end of the third one, okay, I like him a little bit more. He's coming around, but for the most part, I kind of hate him. Like, he does these things, like, so he is this rascal. I think in the title of the manga, they actually refer to him as the pig rascal or something like that. And I mean, so when I think a pig or a rascal in an anime, I'm thinking like, okay, this guy's gonna be real perverted and whatnot, and he's not really. He is. He talks about stuff.
He has lots of good quips.
He's got a lot of quips that have to do with like lewdness or perversion or whatever, but he doesn't like act on them. He's a very like stable, very chill dude for the most part. But like, there's little things he'll do. Like there's a bit where there's several times that like he'll. So when he's hanging out with Mai, for example, without getting too spoilery, there'll be like something where she's gonna go do this, and he mentions something about thinking of her while she does that, and she'll be like, obviously a little flustered by that, and he'll say, well, you know, the mature thing to do would just, be, not worry about it, blah blah blah, and she's like, well, yes, I am very mature, and then she like, whatever, and I'm like, okay, so you're just kind of like. I get that it's like played as he's teasing her or whatever,
right?
But he is like playing her to get his perverse like thoughts or whatever. Like,
sometimes
I don't know.
Sometimes not. Sometimes he really is, and they'll break it down. I know, especially in some of the later episodes, they say, Mai in particular says, "I'm not looking for such sound logic."
Sure.
So
yeah, I mean
and it's like, I will say by the end of it, it definitely, you get a feeling that Sakata is he's a little perverted. He has those quips. He's also very dry. Yeah,
the humor in the show is incredibly dry. That's one thing I did want to talk about.
He's very dry.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's almost no wasted motion. Everything is there for a reason. And
sure.
It comes back in full circle.
Yeah.
But I finished it. I can see where you're coming from. By the time I finished it, I liked him. I think he's a really good character.
Yeah, this might be one where we do the review and then I have to like, maybe in another episode later on, I have a revision.
Your score, yeah.
I have to update my score or something.
So, we talked about Mai a little bit, the idol, and his somewhat love interest. A really interesting character that I want to touch on is Kaidi, the sister.
The sister, yeah, she seems pretty cool. And I get that like she's probably gonna be like a major arc later on that I haven't seen yet. Yeah.
She refers to herself in third person
constantly. You usually almost always see her wearing these like
it's a panda costume,
yeah,
like little
like
onesie or something. Yeah. And she doesn't leave the house.
Is she a straight up, what is it? Hikikomori? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
That's what
hermit.
I only remember that because Haruko said it during Fooly Cooly Progressive. She's like, may as well become a Hikikomori or something like that.
But she's a homebody.
Yeah, she does not leave the house.
She's scared her. At one point, a cell phone rings, and you might remember earlier, whenever she was getting the cuts all over, it's because people were bullying her on the internet, on social media. So even a smartphone.
Yeah, our guy actually threw his phone into the ocean.
Threw it into the ocean
to get it away from her.
Right.
Yeah.
And she has like there are moments where it's like almost, it feels like it's that little sister love thing where she's obsessed with her brother and
yeah, like I think in episode 1 he like wakes up and she's like curled up in the bed with him, and I'm like,
and that happens more than a couple of times. And there's a point flat out later on that she makes this set of goals, and one of them is to go on a date with her brother.
Fun.
And once again, no wasted motion.
Okay. This all means something.
So this show does a really good job, especially with Kaidi, where it sets you up and then it just turns you over on your head.
Okay.
They do the best possible scenarios, I feel like, that they can with some of these characters.
All right.
Really get you to thinking like, whoa, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, so what you're saying is the show is like one big swerve.
Yeah. Just different characters or whatever.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
We have Koga. That's a girl that he meets in a park.
Koga's kind of rad. The way they meet is amazing, and it's my favorite scene of the show.
Yeah, there's some butt kicking there. We have Rio. Rio is his scientific mentor. Now,
yeah, they call her Futaba or
Futaba.
Futaba.
And she essentially, whenever adolescent syndrome comes in, she's the one that like
she's the Q. She's the Q of this show.
Yes, right. She presents all the theories and makes sound reasoning, and we get things like
the first one.
Cat.
They talk about Schrodinger's cat. They talk about Laplace's demon.
And God forbid that damn demon, man.
Roger,
I saw it and I was like, ah!
Roger was telling me how
I was starting to have meltdowns in college.
In college, he like had to deal. He had to like learn about that, and he was struggling. My boy was struggling.
That damn demon, dude. Because that shit'll have your mind spinning. But we're not going to talk too much about
But yeah, that is an interesting thing that I found. Like each one of these different situations that our guy deals with, they kind of relate it to one of these, these theories and whatnot, like Schrodinger's cat or Laplace's demon and stuff.
And you get some quantum stuff in there as well.
You get some quantum stuff,
doing quantum
etc. They really, instead of Laplace's demon, they could have just called it Groundhog Day.
They could have.
That's a slight spoiler, but hey.
Then there's Nodoka, who is my little sister. You get her a little later on. And then there is also the very mysterious Shoko Makinohara.
Yeah.
And that is, she is the mystery side of the show. You can actually splice this into a little subgenre on top of like the supernatural and the psychological. There's a little bit of mystery involving this character here. And I won't go too much into that. But all the characters feel really fleshed out. They all feel important.
Sure.
And I like the designs for them. They all look great.
I don't love some of the designs. Most of them, I'm like, yeah, that's great. For example, I feel like they kind of went overboard with the bunny motif because we see her in a bunny suit, and then she has little bunny clips in her hair when she's not wearing the bunny suit, and her cell phone has a case on it with big bunny ears, and I'm like, okay, I get it, you're a bunny.
She likes bunnies,
and
dude.
the other thing that really bummed me out, and now when I'm watching it, like, 6 episodes in, I'm like, okay, I know who these people are. In that first episode,
we're on the art and animation now.
Okay, art and animation. On that first episode, you see our guy Sakata on, I think, the train with his best friend, whose name I can't remember. And for a second, I was like, wait, which one is he?
Kunimi is his name.
They look exactly the same, except our Kunimi, his friend, is a little bit taller and his hair's a little lighter. But they look
blonder,
like the exact...
He's ripped, dude.
They look like the exact same person. Like, when it just showed their faces, I was like, wait, which one? Like, that kind of... I was like, okay.
I don't know. I didn't have any problem telling them apart, but I guess so. I'm not gonna poo-poo on that.
I mean, for me, there wasn't really anything about the art and animation about it that really like hit me as, oh wow, that's great.
I actually thought the art and animation was above standard. I thought it was really good, especially going back and seeing all of the ways they recreated that entire area.
Sure.
But the character designs, I liked all of them. I actually, like I said, I think that it was above standard animation. Was it made in Abyss? No, it was not. But it was better than a lot of the things that we've talked about on the channel, and I quite liked it. It wasn't perfect, but I did like it. I thought it was really good.
For me, it was mostly just the designs of the characters. Like most of them, I'm just like, okay, that's a cutesy girl.
They didn't feel like little kids to me and stuff like that. They felt aged.
They didn't hit me quite the same as they hit you, I guess.
Okay. That's fair. That's what makes this great, that we have two people. We have two opposing
differing opinions.
Yeah. Differential.
No. Oh no. More physics.
Let's go on the soundtrack. What is the title track? Kimi no Da by the Peggies?
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Kimi no
I liked it.
That's what it is.
I like the opening. I like the ending. They're both fairly good when you get them. A lot of the time, again, since they kind of do them in a very cinematic way, not unlike when we talked about Made in Abyss, like the third episode and the sixth episode, like again, every 3, they kind of cut out the outro and just give you like, just the credits are rolling as you're watching more action.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I will say that like even the music did kind of strike me, because like even just in the background, there's a bit that I cannot talk about at all without getting real spoilery, but it's a bit where a thing has happened and it's happened and no one else knows it's happened in episode 3.
Right.
And there's a bit there where it really the music adds to that tension and that anxiety of the situation, where because there almost isn't any. There's basically a bit where you just see this guy sitting there like taking a test or something, and it's just silence. You just hear a boom, boom.
Yeah, I thought
it really ratchets up the tension. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought the
background stuff was all really good in the show. I thought it fit. Nothing offensive. I thought the opening track was really good. I actually loved the animation to it. Him just like sprinting and
when
almost
he's like
falling
running
down.
Whatever.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was kind of a cute way. The song rules. The end song I thought was okay. I didn't like it as much as the opening.
Yeah.
But what I did like about the end song is that they changed the background for it every time.
Sure.
So you get something.
You get like little different
time.
stuff. Like this episode is about this person, so they're featured more in it,
right,
et cetera, et cetera.
Right. So it focuses on that a little more, and I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty good touch.
Oh, it was fine.
Let's go into that je ne sais quoi, dude. Let's talk a little bit more about that. I don't know what factor, dude.
I gotta tell you, man, nothing about it really strikes me all that much.
That's crazy, man.
I think again, like, that's the thing. I'm talking like that little something extra, or that little something that took it away from me. I thought it was fairly, like, again, my favorite thing is just the story of it, like that these things are happening and we don't know why and whatnot. I can't really give it a point on the je ne sais quoi for that, because that's like the story of it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, it's not bad. It's not like butt crazy amazing.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, the dude, I kind of hate him. He's just such a smart ass, and I'm like, ugh, this fucking guy. Like,
I think Maya's kind of she's a smart ass too.
she is, and that's why they get along so much.
Yeah. Is there anything that you particularly, other than that you didn't like? Anything that skeeved you out?
There's nothing that skeeved me out. That's one thing I can say about it, because I was walking in this expecting it to be like, oh, all the fan service. I'm gonna lose my mind watching this. Nah, dude, it was very chill. These first 6 episodes at least are very chill. There's a few things that like you said, like they kind of make it look like something's gonna happen, or they kind of give you that tropey thing, like the sister waking up in the bed with him, and then nope, it's just different.
Yeah,
they kind of give you that tropey soft pitch, and then it like turns into a fastball out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, okay, it's fine.
See, I felt a bit differently on the je ne sais quoi. I don't know
why I say fastball, curveball. It's obviously curveball.
Yeah. I overall, I liked everything. I liked all of the characters. I liked the music. I liked the way the story progressed so much, because it's a different story. I felt like this was a unique show. I felt like there was something, and there is a good bit of hype behind it. Well, and I feel that I bought into the hype because I think it was so good. Sure. I really did appreciate just how much writing and thought went into the story. And bringing in things like Schrodinger's cat and that goddamn demon.
Well, let's talk about how unique it is, because I've seen a lot of people talk about it online, and my very limited experience with this series, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there may be some people who are like, oh, it's all so great, you gotta watch all of it. I'm probably not gonna. It's so much.
Dude,
it gets
that
a
pains
lot.
Me because it gets
no, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about a series that it keeps
Woo.
getting compared to. It is called, oh god, it's the Monogatari series. Specifically, Baki Monogatari, like, apparently is very, very, very similar.
Right.
And an older show. Like, to the point that, like, the first few episodes are fairly close to this, except, like, instead of being invisible, this person's just very light or something. Yeah, it's weird stuff like that. But, like, as I've been reading, it's, like, been getting a lot of comparisons to that. The only experience I have that with that show is like watching through the first episode and being like, oh, okay, and then seeing the rest of it and being like, I'm not gonna watch all this, and then like seeing a clip of a really badass fight online, and I was like, maybe I should watch all that.
Yeah, I feel like this one probably does set itself apart from it.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, there's you can't say that it's ripping it off or nothing, but
yeah,
similar.
I can, I get where comparisons are made, and I can probably find some other light things that I can compare this to, but overall, like, I thought the story and pretty much everything was really original.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fine. It's just it didn't wow me.
Yeah, but I did really like that they threw in, like I was saying, those Schrodinger's cat and stuff, and they give you those are some complex theories and stuff. Like,
they
once
give you
get
a little
into them heavily,
explanation.
And they make it easy enough for you to get back into.
Yeah, you ain't gotta be a
completely dried
physicist.
up. I was like, oh, thank God, we're not. The show isn't going to turn into that. It's not going to turn into freaking Psychology 2 or whatever it was. It was a pain in the ass for me. But
that weird shit.
Overall, man, it just, and they did all the scenarios really well. Each 3, like you said, felt like a movie.
Yeah.
And I will go ahead and say that this adopts the first 5 books in the series. Sorry.
You don't adopt it.
Yeah, well, you know what I meant. But thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that.
Sorry, Roger. You didn't go to the orphanage and pick up.
Shut up, dude. You're a douche.
Love you.
It picks them up very well. And next year, 2019, we're filming this or recording this in late 2018.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy belated Merry Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
But there is a movie coming out in 2019 that adapts the 6th and 7th books. Not adopts, it adapts. You douche. Let's get into the scores.
All right, let's break it down. How'd you... We just got... Who's going first?
I'll go first.
How did you feel about the story and setting?
I gave it 2 points.
You got 1.5.
Okay. Characters and development? 2 points.
I gave it 1.
Art and animation? 1.5 points.
I gave it 1. How about the music and soundtrack?
1.5 points.
I gave it a 1.
And that je ne sais quoi?
That certain something?
I gave it 2 points.
I gave it a 1.
Gave it 1. So that totals you up to how many?
5.5, bud.
5.5.
I feel kind of low on that. And like I said, man, I might finish this and have to revise that, but
you're putting it in a maybe, dude.
It didn't grab me, man. It didn't grab me the way I was hoping it would. Man. Yeah. I told you this might be the one that breaks us because I felt like you were really into this. And what did yours total up to?
9 points.
Jesus.
It's a low and amazing.
Jesus.
I had to pace myself with this.
Yeah,
one.
we're on different ends of this aisle, but
I was like, okay, I can't burn through this all in 1 or 2 nights. I need to pace it so I can soak it all in for the
fair enough.
For the review.
I mean, no, I definitely feel like I'm gonna have to finish it and then see how I feel about it. Because again, I might have to revise this one. I have seen at least one top 20 anime of 2018 that had this on there.
Yeah. So and I feel like this is a pretty smart anime too. Like it's I like it.
I don't know, man. There's just something about it that didn't quite grab me the way I honestly wanted it to. It just didn't hit me right.
I think, dude, once. You'll have to let us know what you think by the time you get it. Hopefully,
I'll
by next week you'll have it finished.
In a future ramble episode, I'll probably have to break this one down.
You can tell us in the ramble because that last episode, which came out yesterday, as of this recording, it hit hard, man. It was they wrapped everything up real sweet.
They hit it just right.
There's just enough open.
Are you telling me they did it so right?
They did it so right, and there's just enough open to lead on to the next stuff. But there's enough to leave you fulfilled waiting for that stuff. So, I gave it a little amazing. You gave it an anime.
I gave it a pretty average anime.
Surprising. But that is what it is, man. I'm sure there are other people out there that agree with you.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe, like you said, it'll go up whenever you finish it all. But
I'm just trying to build that heat. That's
good,
all.
Buddies. You know what time it is. It's time for us to scoot on out of here. We're going to get ready for that ramble.
Thanks for joining us for the review. We're really glad that you were here.
Yeah,
and
everything will be on time this week.
Please do. This is going to be on YouTube. In the comments, you can let us know what you thought. Smash that like button.
Yeah.
But also, if
really
you want to join us anywhere, we're going to have all the plugs at the end of the ramble. So if you want to check it out.
Check out the ramble the next day. It comes out the day after. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And you guys take it easy. We'll see you next time. I'm sure I'm having the whatever we're reviewing next week. We already know what it is, but you'll see it in the little video above.
Yeah, man. And thanks for joining us. Have a happy new year if you happen to be watching this right then. And later.
See you guys later.